seltzer water because it's carbonated. Something about the bubbles, like the oxygenating of the water, it purifies it. Kind of like how Nexie used to boil the water. Nexie, I miss you. I miss you, Nexie. Seriously, I do want to have a baby at good counsel, and then I'd have Nexie there because then we like be breastfeeding mommies together. I mean, I would let my kid be breastfed by Nexie because I know you're healthy and you eat good and you take care of yourself and you know and you're a beautiful soul, and I'd want you pressed against my child. Like, I swear, I run away from friendship because I'm like, it's just too intense to like care about somebody as a friend. And then it's like flashback to Sabrina when I was 6. Yeah, now Sabrina has a connotation of my freaking soulmate's ex-sugar mom. But yeah, Sabrina was my 6-year-old friend in Canada. I mean, Cali, and then went to Canada. I met Simone. Then turned into a connotation of like Evan's long lost best friend / lover that he became very spiritually obsessed with when he found out I cheated on him 6 times, and didn't tell him about it. Whereas he, because yeah, and then my man thinks I'm dumb enough to cheat on him. No, if you cheat on somebody one time, your spirit bonds will never be the same. And like I knew my soulmate, yes, my soulmate, that his mom has my kid, and like his inability to, you know, comply with CPS protocol is the reason I stayed away from him for 2 years, which led to a nervous breakdown because I had no was to take care of me, love me. Like, yeah, everyone needs a man. Like, people, like, I mean, me especially, I don't need no man. I'm Miss Independent. I don't care. Yes, you do. Hormonally, you do. Like, I mean, I went through my phase in life where I was like, yo, I'm into girls because fuck men. But, like, it was also just, like, my binge phase. Because, you know, you need a binge phase. You need, I mean, I personally needed to just kind of binge out sexually and not have any one partner and just not care and just kind of be a beast to get to that level where I'm like, you know, I feel yucky. I keep catching vaginosis, like, which is just kind of like lime. Like, it's like not like the other stuff that could happen. I'm glad I stopped before I got to that part of town, you know. It's gonorrhea, AIDS. Like, yeah, I thought I had AIDS. That's actually what crashed and burnt me out of the delusion of, yeah, it's fun to be a smut. It's really not. Not when you're sitting there like, oh my God, did I, you know, just infect myself for the rest of my life with something that will cause me to never have a child because I would never want to jostle in my kid. Like, it was not a coincidence that I got to my soulmate's house and, you know, and yeah, he's a miracle thing because he had a soulmate and he loves brawl. Just thinking that you've had other partners makes me want to kill you. Like, fuck were you to be 14 and, you know, have like a first, you know, nut with somebody that isn't me. And I met you when like you were 33 or 32. No, we met each other like 30, he was 31, 32. We became soul bonded when he was 33, adds up to 6, of course. Like, love takes out evil. And yeah, it's like CPS showed up, went to me, I was 4 months, because my mother-in-law called CPS on us a million times. Like, we get reports that, like, you know, he drinks around the baby, and, you know, if you don't go to rehab, like, we're going to have to remove your kid. And he's like, I'm not going to fucking rehab, like, fuck that. And I kind of agree. Like, what we really needed was, like, a trailer, like a mobile home, like a hippie van, and we could have just gone and lived on the outskirts of, like, the country, and, you know, there you go. Problem solved. There's no freaking grimy Union City, New Jersey liquor store on every other block, freaking drugs everywhere life. Like, yeah, rich people get to just, let's go to Aspen. I don't know what Aspen is, but apparently rich people go to Aspen. Let's go to, you know, the Bermudas. Let's go travel, like the fucking sandals commercials. The happy white people running, frolicking on the fucking beach in water. Like, yeah, we can spend $1 million to just enjoy our lives. And then, like, broke people are just like, yeah, wherever I can get state-funded housing, which is always the hood, which is a freaking business. It's a business, because they know you live in the hood, you're more likely to lose your kid, you're more likely to get jumped, you're more likely to get addicted to something, you're more likely to get arrested. Where did all the homeless people go? I mean, maybe in Stamford, Connecticut, it's like there's more love here, because people are allowed to just sleep. But in the Bronx, in New York City, all the homeless people fucking died. That's what this virus is. It's a freaking chemical attack. And it's, oh yeah, now we have to close loitering. There's no more McDonald's that you could sit in and be warm and not freeze to death. Maybe eat after, like, somebody's plate. Like, people survived. like the Bronx, Fordham Bronx, there's like the culture of it was like I hate it now because there used to be a bunch of homeless people that brought life to it. There was a lot of humbleness and love and people helping each other, and now you got like, stay away from me, 6 feet away from me, like fuck you, 6 feet away from me. I think you're gonna kill me with your germs. And it's like, have you ever taken off your mask and just like inhaled the air, because you'll start gagging on that. And yeah, I'm a little disgusted because I'm like, the water supply is poisoned. I noticed that a year ago, and I was giving a bath to Shamir's, and I'm just like, like if you don't use all the bubbles and soaps and, you know, which have a million chemicals in it, FYI, like you smell and it's like, it smells like chlorine, smells like lead, smells like metal, but you don't really feel that. It's just like the warm sensation of a bath and, you know, whatever soap, but there's chemicals in the water, so food is being poisoned and people are dying from that. And now they're like, yeah, go get your vaccine, you know, like Joe Biden got the vaccine, like, you know, that thing could have been filled with water, you know, and yeah, you know, we'll all be dead in 4 years. That's how it works. It's a really, really, really funny, horrible. I mean, do I even care at this point? Like, maybe the humans should just be exterminated, but it's like the only people really it's like Noah's Ark. Like, I've befriended, I think, like the most amazing spiritual people in the past 4 years of my life, and I'd like to literally collect my couple of hundreds of best friends and just bring them to, go to freaking Amsterdam, Netherlands, go to Caribbean, go to the Philippines, go somewhere else. Like, get the hell out of the United States. Get the hell out of the tri-state area. Like, get out of this place that freaking kidnaps your child because you're broke. Like, I'd rather have been born in a third world country and just have my baby tied to me and just survive, you know? But, you know, that's how the system works. Jail is a business. Child protective is a business. And even if your kid is the most happiest, healthy, loved kid in the world, or you're homeless and you're broke and you're struggling, hey, we will fuck your life up. And take your kid because it's merchandise to us. And now this one's on the line. So basically it's just one of those stories where it's like, oh, this girl is fucking doomed. And it's like, oh, or is she? Is she really doomed? Or could she actually get YouTube famous and, like, not be broke? I mean, you got this fucking retarded kid, Ryan, opening toys, and he makes money off it. Like, Key and Peele are, like, semi-funny. Like, the concepts are funny, but honestly, y'all need, like, my best friends, Tyrone and Angelo, to add to your show, because, I don't know, y'all just need some more flavor in your show, Key and Peele. And then you got Sarah Killer Malicious, who loved Key and Peele, loved Pugs, many energy signals of Sarah Killer Malicious. Her soulmate is Uncle Mikey, who lives in South Carolina. But yeah, I spent 2 years away from my mans. I never cheated on him, but, like, befriended people. Like, you know, just, like, forming a spiritual bond with somebody. Like, you're, like, temporarily Samir's, like, parent, too, like, with me. Like, Nexie is a parent. Uncle Mikey was, like, a 1 week parent. Like, you know, like, Curtis used to, like, because I never put Shamir in your shoulder. Oh, yeah, hold Shamir. So she could just feel, like, alive and confident and, like, she's just hanging on to a grown-up, you know, versus, like, put you in this little fucking, like, wheelchair thing, strap you into a wheelchair stroller thing. Like, yeah, I'm a hippie mom. I was, like, a Native American mom. Me and Samir was never hungry. We always figured something out. We were always good. But, you know, got a lot of enemies. They call 1-800-HI. I hate Nora, and I really hope you guys take her kid from her, because I'm ugly. My name is Yesenia Johnson, and I just really hope that you take Nora's kid from her. And then it's like I got every case closed. Case closed. 2 to 3 months, investigate my ass, drain me, make me so tired and paranoid. It's over. Another fucking case. How can you legally do that to somebody? Like, I'm already struggling as a parent as is. We were living at family shelters, which is, like, highly uncomfortable, especially in the New York Bronx area. It's just, like, you kind of just feel like you're just, like, a caged animal. Like, you know, you don't have, like, dignity. Like, you can't say, stay out of my room. Like, caseworkers barge in for any effing reason. Like, you light an incense, you'll get in trouble. You can't control your roommates. You can't control how other moms treat their kids. And I'm just sitting there with these, like, thin-ass walls hearing, you know, so-and-so scream at their kid and hit their kid. And I want to go in there and be like, yo, you're traumatizing your kid. Stop. But I can't do that. You know, I have to just like, you know, it's like I'm an empath. I feel everything. So I never stayed at family shelters. I would get my SSI check, and me and Shamir would go to South Carolina. We went to Canada. It was the best shelter in Canada. We're like, what the hell are you doing in Canada? Go back to the United States. You know, technically I have a passport from when I was 7, because my dad is rich. My family's rich. That's the fucking joke of my life. My Arabic family has me fucking on the homeless side of town, and the relatives in Palestine are just like, what the fuck happened? They took Nora's kid? What's going on? And just like, my mom's lying and being like, oh, you know, we tried to help Nora, but no, you did not try to help Nora. You just sat there like, well, you got knocked up by a Puerto Rican, that's your fault. You embarrassed us, so you know what, we're just gonna let you die. And then he's not capable of making money because he's just a spiritual being meant to be a Native American too, and his mom and sister called CPS on me till I fucking cracked, till I fucking started running from them. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to be investigated. Like, why must a CPS worker just become my god? Like, I become a CPS worker's bitch every time. Like, please don't take my kid, Sarah Kelly. Like, please don't take my kid, Augustina. Please don't take my kid, Whitney. Please don't take my kid. Like, all these women just became my, like, freaking surrogate wives and husbands. Like, I don't want to interact with you. Why must I deal with this? Because Emily Kahn, Yesenia Johnson, Anais Oliveria, and Susanna Tavares just, you know, pick up a hotline. Like, I did that once to Yesenia, once, and I felt horrible about it. Like, 1, I just fed the system, and 2, I feel like shit, because I don't think she's mean to her foster baby. But I also believe that you were sitting there like, oh, this is great. Now Ma has Samira, and let's try to fuck with the situation more to make it so Nora doesn't get her rights as a parent back by, you know, yeah, I sent some emotional, save her worth money, sent some emotional tirades to my mother-in-law's phone, like, F you. Like, you just separated a mother lying from her baby. Like, why? So you could have her in your house just sitting there like a prisoner? Like, my kid doesn't like my mother-in-law. She hates her. She's just sitting there like, I'm just stuck here. And I see her during visits, and I have to just be like, okay, Samara, now go back to Grandma that doesn't give a shit about you. And then they're like, well, Nora, we expect you to do the 6 weeks of parenting classes, and 3 months of evaluations, and then 2 months of this, and then 3 months of this, and 5 months of this, and 6 months of this. Like, you're just trying to elongate the process because that's how the system is set up. They set up these stupid freaking court hearings so freaking conveniently that they fuck the parents' right and chance of getting their kid back up by being like, oh, well, we're gonna make it take this long for you to, like, be, you know, like, cleared as being sane and like a good parent. Oh, by the time you get to that level, we've already had like 2 to 3 court hearings, and now we're gonna get you to that. I mean, it's only been 2 months without Samira, but I see where this is going, and I see how the system works. Like, that they would just keep extending it. Like, you tell me you think I'm effing crazy. Okay. Send me to a psychological evaluation. 3 hours of that shit. To send me to a psychiatric evaluation, I had to wait another month and a half for. To sit there across from some crock doctor that wasn't even looking at me as a person, but just sitting there making up a fucking story. I could see that. I'm like, what are you writing about me? Can I have a copy of this? Can I have a copy of the information you have about me? He's like, no, you can't. I'm pretty sure if I had a fucking lawyer next to me, like a $10,000 lawyer, they wouldn't have said that to me. And that's the world I need to step into. Nora has a fucking lawyer, Nora has fucking money, Nora has fucking rights, Nora can eat well, Nora can live well, Nora gets her fucking kid back, and Nora doesn't lose this one. So, that's basically it. Like, you know, there's only so far that you can be like the kind-hearted, loving hippie mom getting stepped on by the system before you're like, you know what? And it's true, I don't have the capacity to be a business person. I don't have the capacity to do anything that doesn't feel like it's spiritually helping the world. So, I'm just going to monetize on my 4-year misery diary. Because I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait to go down like this. Yes, okay, I showed up 2 years ago and fucked up my relationship with my soulmate. Because instead of being like, all right, you guys love each other, y'all made a kid, we'll help y'all out, we'll get you a house and, like, you know, somewhere away from all liquor stores and dealers, and you have no problem. I'm just a stoner. I just love weed. Weed just makes me a happy mom and a funny mom. Whereas, yeah, like freaking alcohol, pills, needles, coke, all other shit that is just stupid. like, yes, would make it so you're incapable of, like, being in control and, like, people can cause harm to their children. People can neglect their children with actual fucking drugs. But to label weed a drug, to label an herb a drug, it's a plant. It comes from the fucking ground. But, yeah, just like 2 years and no soulmate. I don't cheat on him, so just 2 years. And that's so inside from the universe. Because, yeah, oh, I missed it. But it was like the flying, I used to call it the flying bus. Because, yeah, I grew up, like, with parents that had money to take us to nice places and take us on vacations and this, that, and the third. But I was a very fucking miserable child because my mom never loved me. And that's true. Because love is compassion. Love is, I never want you to suffer. I never want you to feel bad. My mom would fucking yell at me for shitting myself. My mom was always mad at me. My mom hates her life. عشان سامي عريقات سامي عريقات سامي عريقات سامي عريقات بينيك منى زي زفت. عشان العرب ما بيعرفوا كيف ينيكوا. بيفكروا بس يحطوا زبهم في وحدة ويحركوا حالهم لا هم ينبلوا هم يحبوا الصار اوكي شكرا مرتي انت هلا ابعدي. That's not how you treat a woman's body, you fucking idiots. My soulmate is Puerto Rican Ecuadorian, and no, not someone that waited till he was fucking 30 to have his first prized pussy muna arikat and fucking never know how to make that pussy feel good. And just, resulted in the most angry, heinous fucking blob woman, my mother. That, yeah, Swadili, $40. My mom sends me $40. I'm fucking homeless on the street. You're living in a fucking $1 million house in Westchester. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, 2 years being starved, because I'm not going to cheat on my soulmate, because I'm not going to break that bond. Just CPS said, stay away from him. And just seeing him in little increments of moments and then running away, like, oh, we can't be caught together, and I went to the Fountain Hotel, and then you're like, who cares? Like, you got into an argument with the hotel management because, like, they dissed Nicholas or whatever. If it was any other circumstance, like, I'm not holding our kid and the system doesn't already have us in, like, the file as, oh, John Garcia nor Eric Cat shouldn't be together, I would have, like, stuck it out. Maybe gone hid somewhere, then met up with you later and been like, oh, well, like, let's still spend the day with each other. I was just like, oh, no, cops showed up because, babe got all fucking, like, like, wild towards the staff. I mean, I do despise alcohol, and I despise alcoholic behavior. Like, stoners are the coolest people, and fucking alcoholics are idiots. It's just true, but of course, alcohol is legal, and weed is not. Like, I could have been a mom that fucking got tipsy every fucking night and, like, seriously disturbed and harmed my fetus. No, I'm a mom that loves weed. Like, not even tobacco wraps, but just, like, the really, like, light papers that makes it so you're literally just taking in the plant. And now I'm just sitting here and, like, terrified. Like, I'm close to giving birth, and any reason to take merchandise, right? Even though my kid's going to come out insanely healthy because Mama and Jordan been bonding. Like, I can feel spirit with weed. Weed is a freaking third eye mechanism. Bob Marley, John Lennon, these are bad people? No, they're not. Like, they're not. They're people that went out of their way to help the world because it opens your ability to feel and love. Weed is very good for you, but it's illegal. So, and even in parts of the country where it is legal, CPS will still fuck with the moms that stone. Like, it makes me happy, it makes me calm, it's healthy, like, it helps with, like, morning sickness and all that shit, and then it's like, oh, no, we'll have to remove your child. But, going to McDonald's because you're craving that fucking poison is totally acceptable. Like, I could be a pregnant lady that walks in there and buys, like, 1,000 fucking, chocolates. Chocolate is not bad for you, but anything American company made, like, anything that's made to sit on a shelf for, like, fucking 3 years so they could sell it in bulk is all sprayed with, like, basically chemicals to turn it into basically plastic so it lasts forever. Like, chocolate itself, like that Don't Chew chocolate that's at the World Trade Center, which is, yeah, they constructed a freaking $1 billion monument to commemorate a fucking lie that justified invading oil instead of creating a giant, center for homeless people or something. Because, yeah, they killed all the homeless people in the Bronx. It's fucked up. They just took away their ability to survive, took away the loitering, took away the public libraries, took away the bathrooms even, and just, you know, like this corona thing is a really, really clever cleansing. It's like, yeah, Hitler, but, you know, 2020. It's just a Hitler that gets everybody to line up and kill themselves with a vaccine because people can't figure it out. Chemicals drop from sky, people start coughing, they're sick. Oh, yeah. Chemtrails. No. The news would never lie to us. The news would never lie to us. The American government would never lie to us. It's not a money-based, heinous, freaking evil, freaking racist, freaking evolution derived from slavery. That's why the CEOs are all fucking white guys and everyone on the bottom is all fucking dying and not white. And why are jails filled? Because it's a fucking business. It's a fucking business. Like, why did I get my kid taken from me? Because I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit there in a fucking family shelter for 2 years in the Bronx, depressed and bored, and like letting my kid's first 2 years of life be like fucking living in a jail cell basically to what? Win my grand prize of a freaking project apartment? Like, in a crime-infested area because the system just regenerates wealth because psych wards, rehabs, all shit that poor people end up in, clearly, because they go fucking crazy from being so poor and on the bottom and depressed and fucking broken. Jail, child protective. Yeah, how many rich white bitches are going to lose their kid to the system? All they have to say is talk to my lawyer, get off my property, fuck off. That's it. So I'm like, oh, don't mess with her. You know, she has money. Nora, I'm broke, I'm homeless, please don't take my kid. You're telling me I have to sign this paper? I mean, you're a government official. You couldn't be lying to me, right? To take rights of my child, right? And now make me have to play this stupid game to earn her back while seeing her every week in a fucking office to make myself cry every time because I want to take her home and I have to send her back to foster mom, Anaisa Oliveria, who did this to me. By simply being a bored, depressed, bitter-ass old lady that called CPS 1,000 million times. And I still went out of her way to send her a Prince Charming, December 11th. A handyman named Jamie. Yo, Raimundo, stop being so effing mad at me. He was a kid that I ended up meeting through Craigslist because I was like, yo, looking for a translator. Then he ended up being like, you know, one of Anna's fucking soulmates. Not Anaisa, Anna Banana. I left you to have a bad trip about a year ago. That shit fucked me up and I'm very sorry. Third eye is the most powerful spiritual experience anyone can go through, and I left you to have a bad trip with your ignorant parents in a fucking house, which is really the worst way to trip. You need to go out into nature. Fungus, also known as mushrooms, is like the most incredible phenomenon because as it's dying, it's living. It's recreating itself. It's rebirthing itself. So yeah, pharmaceuticals and mental health and all that shit. All that's saying is, hey, you're suffering, you feel bad, instead of us like making your life better, we'll just give you these chemicals so you can't feel it anymore. Yeah, that's poison. Ages 16 to 21, they put me on 950 lithium and freaking 300 Seroquel. They turned me into an effing fat guinea pig that almost lost the capacity to even have a child because I developed polycystic ovaries from the Depakote they switched me to at one point. But I was mostly consistently on a fucking lithium battery. They put battery shit in me. And that's totally legal. I'm 28 now, and I would lose my kid to the system if it was detected that I used the plant to stay in good spirits and, you know, it doesn't even harm your child or harm anything about you. But lithium fucking can make it so you need to have your kidney or liver removed. So, for more information, go through my archives. Yeah.